afternoon. My name is Louis Turco. I'm the president of Lieutenants Benevolent Association, which represents 4,000 active and retired lieutenants of the NYPD. Today I'm joined by the president of the New York City PBA, Pat Lynch. Also joined by the New York City Detective Endowment Association President, Mike Palladino. Joined by the president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association, Ed Mullins. I'm also joined today by the vice president of the CEA, Chris Monahan. I'm here today to collectively endorse retired New York City Captain Joe Concannon, who is running for District Council seat 23. He's running against Mark Weprin, who has endorsed this Public Community Safety Act, which we believe should be named the Community Engagement Act. This bill is going to put the general public and our members in harm's way. Standing behind me is well over 100 years of law enforcement background, and everyone here feels that this bill is going to put us in harm's way and city residents in harm's way. The council who voted on this bill have zero law enforcement experience. So who do you think knows better how to serve the public, protect the public? I think we do. I'd like to call up now Pat Lynch from the New York City Police PBA.
Thanks, Luke. We're here today to endorse Joe Concannon for City Council. He understands policing, he understands safety, and if you understand that aspect of living in this city, all else follows. Economic issues follows the safety issues. When this City Council tries to handcuff the police department with these ill-advised bills that will hurt every New York City police officer as our members, but the public, because it hampers us from doing the job. We cannot allow that to happen. We're here today to support Joe as the candidate in the City Council because he not only understands the law enforcement issues, but a broad spectrum of issues. City residents, happens to be in my personal district as well. That's important because he'll be supporting not only my members, but my family as well. So the New York City PBA enthusiastically endorses Joe's candidacy.
Thank you. Next to speak, I'm going to invite Mike Palladino, President of the DEA.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I concur with everything that Pat Lynch just said. 17,000 active and retired New York City detectives support Joe's candidacy 100%. The question that I have for Councilman Mark Weprin, and it should be a question that the press asks him as well, is why does Weprin lie? He misled the Detectives Endowment Association. We went through an endorsement interview process. We asked him specifically his position on the bias-based profiling bill, and he told us that he would not support it. He would vote against it. And instead, he voted for the bill. So he misled us. He gained our endorsement under false pretenses, and that is why I revoked the endorsement. When we've asked him why he changed his vote, and he lied to us, his position is he's more concerned about bettering his political career than he is with his constituents. So my question once again to Councilman Weprin, why does Weprin lie?
I'd like to invite Chris Monahan, Vice President of the CEA, up.
Good afternoon, Chris Monahan, Vice President of the Captain Joe Concannon Association. A few months ago, we had endorsed Mark Weprin on the same principles as Michael Palladino spoke about. He promised to keep our family safe, our police officers safe, and he would vote not for the racial profiling bill. He since voted, backtracked, and we went back to our Board of Officers and sits with a nice big X on his endorsement letter, sent it to him, and have revoked it. It's time to get reform into the City Council, where we're endorsing Joe Concannon. He is a former police officer, lives in the city, knows the dangers of police work, knows the dangers if we go back to the city of the 1990s, what this economy will look like, what the city will look like. So Joe, counting on you.
Thank you. Now let's hear from the candidate, Joe.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Concannon, and I'm running for New York City Council, District 23 in Eastern Queens. It gives me great pleasure and honor to be surrounded by my colleagues and former peers of NYPD. Each and every law enforcement agency in the city and its personnel are behind me. We intend to take it to Mark Weprin and ask Mark this. Why not? Why not, Mark, are you putting the safety and the security of every single member of New York City at risk? Why would you do this? Everything, every responsibility that a potential candidate for public office or an elected official seeking re-election needs to bring into focus is the safety and the security of each and every citizen of the city of New York. Why he would throw that away, why he would betray his constituents in the 23rd District, Floral Park, New Hyde Park, Belrose, Queens Village, Hollis, Holliswood, Oakland Gardens, Glen Oaks, New York, Bayside. Why would he do that? We have no idea. I'm asking you in November to line up with me on the Reform Party. It'll be all the way over to the right on the ticket, and vote for Joe Concannon for City Council. I can assure you that I will never risk the safety and the security of one New York City citizen at any time at all, no matter who comes to my desk and no matter who tries to pander to get into higher elected office. That's where I stand. Now, I want to say this, and I'll back up to what Pat Lynch was saying. The safety and the security of the city of New York, and I know this because I worked in the Giuliani administration as well as a police officer down the dark hallways and alleys of every city New York borough. I'll tell you this, the safety and security of the city is tied inextricably to the vitality of the economy of the city of New York. That's why we have a wonderful city. That's why we call it home. We are going to march this campaign, and the center issue, obviously, is going to be CSA, the Community Safety Act, and Intro 1079 and 1080. All right? We don't believe the city needs to be bloated anymore, the larger size than it is. I think the city of New York has only a dozen oversight agencies which are looking at the NYPD. I don't know if we make it 13, 14, 15, 16 more, whether or not that's going to make any sense here in the city of New York. Why? Also, Mark Weprin can become the Speaker of the City Council and appoint his friend Jim Gennaro, all right, as the police monitor in DOI. Look, the New York City Police Department's a paramilitary unit. They're very well structured, and there is oversight beyond anyone's mention. CCRB, the 2S units, U.S. Attorney's Office, the 5 District Attorney's Office, and then internally they have their own mechanism. All right, you need to trust. And one campaign issue and slogan that we're going to put out on every banner and every placard on every website, we're going to emblazon one thought for the citizens of New York. Support your local police. All right? Thank you, everyone. And I just want to say, if you're up on Facebook, look at me at Joe Concannon for City Council. And if you can make a donation of $10 or more, we certainly would appreciate it. Thank you.
Questions first for Joe. There were some rumors that Mayor Bloomberg and Howard Wolfson had contacted you to run against Mark Weprin because of his vote. Wondering if you've heard from them, if there's any truth to that.
I've been speaking to Mayor Bloomberg for a number of years since I've been seeking political office. The Bloomberg administration and my campaign are lockstep so far as this issue is concerned. Other than that, I'm not going to discuss campaign strategy and who we're talking with and who we're not.
Did he ask you to run?
These fine gentlemen have come out here today and taken valuable time away from work to endorse me, and I think that's where I'm going to keep the focus today.
Did he ask you to run?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into the campaign strategy and what's going on, and that's part of it.
But you were talking to him.
We've been talking to a lot of people, all over the district and all over the city. People are really annoyed.
And then I have a question for Pat Lynch. Unrelated to this race, but I think a lot of people are also waiting for you to weigh in on the mayor's race. Wondering when, if, how, where, etc. that might happen.
We'll continue to go through that process, and we'll announce that endorsement when we make the endorsement for mayor. Today we're here to endorse for the city council.
Do you think it'll be before the primary?
You'll be the first one we're going to call. We'll absolutely put that out, and we'll want your help in getting the word out to our candidate.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.